KD gets his 20,000 points against the Los Angeles Clippers, a team that the Warriors have been notoriously known to doze on religiously. But the funny thing is, in that game, Clippers actually win the game. Lou Williams had a 50 piece. KD had 40 points. And we're just looking at a player in KD, 20,000 points, second youngest to do it. We're really lucky to watch LeBron be the youngest, KD second youngest, watch Kobe, Jordan. We're so lucky to see all these great scorers come before us. And you're watching it in real time how they're scoring the basketball, doing things. LeBron was the youngest, and he's not even a scorer. So what that tells me about KD is he's definitely going to end up, I would say, top 5 scoring of all time. Same thing with LeBron James, and LeBron doesn't even like to score the ball like that. But you're looking at two guys that can put the ball in the basket in multiple ways. And KD has a lot more skill than LeBron, but LeBron's still scoring at a rapid clip, which is amazing. It's just amazing to watch. And, you know, in terms of him balling and where he's going to land in the future, in terms of all-time greats, I don't know. Because the thing is, for me, in order for KD to be considered like an all-time great player, he has to win multiple titles. And I'm not a big guy on MVPs or nothing like that. I'm saying like he has to win 3 titles, 4 titles. He can't just have 1 or 2 titles and we automatically put him as one of the greats to ever play, due to the simple fact that he played with a stacked deck. Sort of like with LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? He went to Miami to get 2. He had to do a big 3. Well, KD went and did a big 4. So that kind of goes against you. You see what I'm saying? It kind of goes against you. Not a whole lot, but in terms of when we're comparing you to like the Kobe's, Magic Johnson, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Tim Duncan, we're talking about guys that just played on the team or drafted. You know, they didn't have like all these 3 or 4 superstars with him. So KD has to win, and he has to be dominant in his wins for me to consider him like an all-time great. I mean, he's an all-time great talent, all-time great scorer. His defense is ridiculous now, but he's still young, and that's kind of the thing. What kind of kills me when guys do these milestones, it's like, where does he rank? It's like, calm down, man. It's still early in his career, and you never know. He might go to 40,000 points. You never know, because this is a guy that can score 30 in his sleep. He averaged 35 in the finals. I mean, that's unheard of. Like, since Jordan in like 93, averaged like 35. Just ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Another topic I want to touch on is the Cleveland Cavaliers. And basically, everybody in the East, you know, everybody's worried about what's going to happen to the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know, what trades can they make to be competitive in the NBA Finals. And I said this multiple years ago, that Tristan Thompson, that huge deal they gave him, is not allowing for a lot of wiggle room. They overpaid for a rebounder. And when they could have just got another guy, you know, off the free agent market and got a scorer and shored up their bench. They overpaid for a rebounder. That being said, they're looking at DeAndre Jordan. You know, the Cavs have been talking to DeAndre Jordan. I mean, the Los Angeles Clippers about him. Clippers want that number 1 pick, trying to get, you know, hopefully become number 1 so they can get Bagley. That makes sense. But the Cavs don't want to part ways with that. And this is what I have to say about any team that wants to trade with the Cleveland Cavaliers. You have to make them pay. You can't just like give them up for peanuts or nothing like that. You see what I'm saying? You can't give them up for practically next to nothing. Like what the Indiana Pacers did. They gave up Paul George for, I mean, and now Oladipo is playing really well and you know they're in a good position. But when you looked at it, you was like, what the hell were they thinking, basically? So they can't trade DeAndre Jordan for some jumping beans. They got to get a Kevin Love out of the deal. They got to get Tristan Thompson or a J.R. Smith. They have to get some pieces that can help them win. You know what I'm saying? It's unacceptable for them to get pieces that's basically whatever. And they're saying they want youth. Cavs don't have youth. So that's out. One place I see the Cavs can possibly make a trade to, maybe the Wolves. Try to get Jimmy Butler again. And OKC again. Try to pull the trigger on that and, you know, because Paul George really looks like he's not going to stay. So try to package a deal or whatever. Send Crowder over there with Crowder and Tristan Thompson, or Kevin Love and Crowder. You have to, but they have to bust a move or whatever, if, quote unquote, because it's like everybody's looking at them like they can't compete with the Warriors right now. And honestly, it's like no matter what you do, it's not like the whole situation is not about competing with the Warriors. It's beating the Warriors. How do you see yourself beating them 4 times in like that? Like, it took a Herculean effort, and Draymond Green gets suspended for them to win in 7 games. They got smoked last year, and 3 years prior, they were up 2-1 and got smoked. I mean, got beat, 4-2. So, what can you put together? And to me, DeAndre Jordan isn't the guy. I'm saying, because although he can rebound and block shots, he can be a liability in terms of the small ball, in terms of guarding pick and rolls, in terms of tackle DeAndre Jordan. So, I'm saying, the Cavs will play the Rockets or the Warriors in the finals. They're just going to pick and roll them to death, and then boom, 5 fouls. So, I mean, Cavs have a decision to make, man. Do you want to keep Love? Do you want to keep Tristan Thompson? Or do you want to boot it out? Because in order to get what you want, you're going to have to give up a lot. And I think teams need to approach the Cavaliers like that. You want to get something, you're going to have to give up a lot to get it. Because, stop doing the Cavs favors, ladies and gentlemen. Stop doing them favors. Like, I've seen some of these trades that happen. It's just like, oh, here, you take them. Here. Yeah, well, whatever. To your rival. So, it makes no sense. So, we'll see what happens. To me, I think it's more of a intrinsic change that needs to happen. They need to really create a philosophy within the organization where LeBron James is the focal point, but other guys have to step up. It's just like they have to run plays for other guys. They have to do things for other people that doesn't involve a pick and roll for LeBron James. So this way, the team knows how to function without him, and when he comes back in, they can function with him. Essentially, Cavs need a system. It's not they could bring in all the players they want to bring in. They just need a system where we know where the ball's going at all times. We don't necessarily need to depend on LeBron James constantly. But the problem with that is LeBron doesn't thrive well in systems because I don't think he's ever played in one. Like, he's never had a coaching system where it's like the Spurs or the Warriors or even a triangle offense or, a Princeton off. Nothing like that. It's just pick and roll, give me the ball, get out the way. This is Vlad from Hoops Junction, Hoops meets Hoopla. Peace.